I was hoping it might be. Well, doesn't this look fine? Thank you, lad. You're new, aren't you? Kenneth's running you ragged already, I expect, the old rascal.
Well, he did say he'd give me something for my trouble.
And so he should. We're not slaves anymore. Well met, lad, and keep up the good work.
Well. There's so much more to farming than just seeds and soil.
Your food.
Just a moment. I need to finish this. I won't be a burden. I'm of no use to anyone as I am, but maybe if I can master this.
All right, but see that you eat it before it gets cold.
Of course. Thank you.
That's the last one.
After completing the main objective of some quest, you may be given the option to quick travel to the quest's final destination. What is this, a levy?
Better let Kenneth know.
All done, I presume? Splendid.
They were bearers. All three of them. Not slaves waiting upon their master's pleasure, but men waiting to be fed like equals.
Indeed. Equality is the very cornerstone upon which our little community is founded. Beyond these walls, we are scorned as slaves. Speaking only when spoken to, eating only what scraps our masters deign to give us. The first hot meal here is the first many will have known. In the Hideaway, we are free. Truly free to speak as we please, when we please, and to eat what and when we desire. More than reason enough to trust in Cid's vision, wouldn't you say? Now, I promised you something for your trouble, did I not? The contents of my strongbox are yours to do with as you will. Thank you, Clive. Do come and visit me again, won't you?
I mean, yeah, Rax. I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to ding a game like, say, WoW for that. Because WoW quests have this thing called flow. But, yeah, no, I can think of a lot of games. 15, excuse me, that could really use that feature. See, I don't have to imagine that, Linear. I've already encountered that. I want to check something really quick. Forgive me. September 20th. Nope, here we go. No, October 17th. That was 2 days ago. The latest patch for the game. Nothing super fancy. But apparently one of the things was a performance boost, an optimization pass, in other words. Which is interesting when you think about it. There was also a patch a bit before that. And before that. Jeez. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. If it worked, we can't tell. We're still on minimum graphics, too. I'm probably not going to go up from that. Okay. One moment. Oh, you know what? I don't have to sit here paused, because I can just be like, hey. I can have music playing. And Alt Tab. Yeah, that... Because apparently this is Zelda. So our first actual accessory. Sure. Just for the hell of it. So I actually have the preview pane off right now. So if you guys start to see any graphical dips, do me a favor to say something, because I don't see jack on my end. It runs buttery smooth on my end. That's not the problem I have. Alright, let's make sure motion blur's off. Turn that off, turn that off. Turn off bloom. And I do believe that should be it.
Do you think we should go?
Did that actually take?
Help.
It sounds like Otto has everything under control. As always.
Yours is not a familiar face. Are you new to the Hideaway, perchance?
You could say that.
Well then, allow me to welcome you. I am Harpocrates II Hyperboreus.
That's,
Quite a mouthful, I know. Which is why everyone here has taken to calling me simply Tomes, on account of the company I keep. And what varied company. I'm a collector, you see. Not of bijou and baubles, but of stories. The history and culture of these isles have ever been a source of endless fascination to me. But alas, my days of wandering the realm in search of new tales are far behind me. And so I've taken to sharing that which I've gathered with all who might listen. Perhaps you would care to listen.
I would rather die.
I have compiled some new entries, if you would like to see them.
Yeah, I found these 900 seeds around them. Could you go gather those for me, please?
I don't believe you've read this particular chapter before. If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Interesting. A somewhat derogatory no-man. Wow. The game is so far very gray and brown. I don't know if we'll stay with that, but then again,
The door to the shelves
it might.
shall ever be open.
There's definitely the vibe they're going for. I mean, considering the world is functionally on the verge of an apocalypse right now. Oh god, it keeps playing.
I heard they escaped their masters in the imperial capital.
Damn it. We'll be needing more wood. But if I step away to fetch any, this lot will be down around our ears.
Ah, you there. Perfect timing. I couldn't persuade you to fetch me some timber, could I?
Timber? I would love to.
I'd be happy to.
Oh, thank you. You'll be helping me and the Hideaway both. Takes a lot of work to keep this place standing. More than we can manage, if I'm honest.
It certainly looks like you've got your hands full.
Ah, you can say that again. The Fallen knew their craft, make no mistake, but not even their handiwork lasts forever. That's why the walls need shoring up. Can't have the vegetable patch crushed before our first harvest now, can we?
No, I suppose not. All right, where can I find this wood?
Ask over at the White Ads. They'll point you in the right direction. Thanks again. I really appreciate the help.
So yeah, this might be a little bit too intense for our side questing here. Let's fix that.
The
Hit a
Iron Blood were
sprint
quick
button.
to sound the retreat once Titan turned up.
So I guess Leviathan is involved in that DLC.
It sounds like
Excuse me. The man working over by the garden sent me to fetch some wood.
Ah, that'll be Geoffrey, Master Carpenter. Luck would have it, we've just finished cutting the timber he's after. You take as much as you need from the stack.
Thank you.
No, not at all. We appreciate the assistance.
Here we are. I better get this to... Geoffrey, was it?
The Iron Blood were quick to sound the retreat once Titan.
Oh, you're back. Hope fetching that wood wasn't too much trouble.
Will this be enough?
This will do nicely, thank you. With a bit of luck, the walls won't be falling in on us just yet.
That sounds ominous.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that. And it's a damn sight better than the alternative. We're safe, we're warm, and we're hidden. What more could we ask for? Now stop fretting and take this. You've earned it. Welcome to the fold.
There's no need to...
That's not a matter of need, my friend. You're one of us now.
Thanks for the gill bug. Yes.
I heard they escaped their masters in the Imperial capital.
I need supplies for my journey to Lostwing. Otto said you could provide them.
So I guess this is what happened to Yuna after the end of her adventure.
What? Does the newcomer think it proper to make demands of a poor old matron before even introducing himself?
It's Clive.
Well, Clive, I hear that dog is yours. Since he followed Sid home one night, I've seen to it that his chin's rubbed and his belly fed. Though I suppose that's your job now. Unless you lose him again.
I won't. Not again. Thank you for watching him.
So, were you gonna buy something? What? You didn't think I'd shower your lordship with my hard-won wares while you swagger about with a pocket full of gill? Life doesn't work that way, lad. Now, let's see some coin.
This is called a shop. A shop is someplace where you go to purchase things. In order to purchase things, you need this insane new concept we just invented. It's called money. Yeah, no more grabbing.
That's all.
Or
Why,
actually,
you're barely a guilty of name. You're taking his side now? And after all I've done for you. All right. All right, I can make an exception. But just this once, mind. My stores are getting cluttered and I need to make room for the next shipment.
Thank you.
Thank me? Thank your dog.
Yeah, Torgal is just the main character. Let's just be honest with ourselves. I think we all know that. Anyone saying otherwise is just in denial.
And what do you want? If you're gonna buy something, be quick about it. And be thankful you got that much.
Are there party members in this game? Let me clarify. Are there party members who use equipment in this game? Okay.
You got out else?
Plot symbol. The one from the title screen. What?
Stay down! It's over. It's over. That's enough.
Well, that is an awesome feature. What game would I liken this to? Devil May Cry 5. Although, honestly, not at the same level. At least not yet. Devil May Cry 5 is probably the most in-depth, complex, and best spectacle fighter beat-em-up I've ever played. So a few steps below that.
You all done?
Leaving already, are ya?
It's you I'll miss the most, Lady Karen. It always is.
Don't stop you going, does it?
This should be fun.
Right.
Hang on. Hey? Alright.
Where to next?
For now, we'll rest in the group. Do you think we should go and help?
It sounds like Otto has everything.
I do like the visuals there of just the barren land where the magic has been seeped out of it. In fact, it looks like there's several areas that are having that particular problem right now. Ugh, bugs.
Bastard blood flies everywhere.
I told you we should have taken the Crystal Road.
And I told you we're outlaws. Well, you want every bounty hunter in Storm harrying us from here to the Holy Capital?
Come on, Sid, you have lightning. Use it.
What's wrong with a shortcut through nature's splendor? You know.
The Deadlands claim more of the realm each day. That a place like this still exists is a miracle in itself. Bloodflies and all.
We'll be back in Imperial land soon. You all right?
Never better.
Sounds like it. That there is a fine hound. Soon took to hunting. Fearless as you like.
It's good to have you back, Torgal.
Now, we don't want to be caught in the forest after nightfall.
I suppose not.
The Ring of Timely Assistance automates Torgal.
Did I mention there'd be deadly beasts? There'll be deadly beasts. Nothing a trained assassin can't handle, though.
How reassuring.
You're welcome. For that and the shortcut.
Get it, boy!
Just for you. Oh, I see.
Maybe they're friendly like Torgal. Or maybe they're not.
Get him, boy! Sick of Torgal! Get him! Over here. Get him! You know what to do, boy. Sick of Torgal!
We still have a way to go.
Now let's try it with the accessory on. By the way, Colitus, I saw your sub earlier. Thank you for that very much. And if you know what up to 3 things you want to put that towards, please let me know.
What in good Grieger's name is he doing this far south?
Looking for food. No more wolves where he's from. The north was one of the first parts of Storm to fall to the Blight.
Poor sod. I'd invite him over for a cup of tea if I didn't think he'd eat the dog.
Let's try and stay out of its path.
Remember when I said there's a deadly beast? Well, the shrubs in these parts aren't much better.
And you won't think to mention this now.
Get him, boy! Get him! It's over.
I noticed that, Rex. I guess you just saw.
Well, that's the undergrowth sorted. I'll take it from here.
So... we'll jot that down. For near Sea of Stars and Dealer's Choice. Oh, right. I need to jot that down too. Which means
After you.
Thank you kindly.
The ruins. They're everywhere, aren't they?
Some say there was a time they blocked out the stars. Down was the only way left for them to go. There's probably a lesson to be learned from that. But it can wait. Come on. Mind your head.
you know what's funny? This is very FF13. Just, you know, good.
A wyvern.
I can see that. Doesn't have to be a friend of yours, does it?
Sick of Torgal! Over here.
No. What I mean by that is linear corridor with kind of lighthearted music playing in the background as people casually talk about what's happening and do a little bit of light exposition as they're going. There's a format to it. And let's call it a philosophy.
Sick of Torgal!
The idea is this is the, let's call it the in-between, right? This is the connective tissue between cutscenes. They want there to be interactivity and they want there to be combat, but they don't actually want to stop the overall story, if that makes any sense, in order to pause for gameplay. So instead what they do is they have the story continue to be presented as the gameplay is progressing. But yeah, well, FF13 was obviously a very prototype of the idea. Although that's a lie, obviously. FF10 was the prototype of the idea. But you get the idea. And yeah, the battles happen right there in the corridor you're walking through, instead of in some pocket dimension. Like I said, it's a philosophy. Whether it works or not, that's up to you.
Must be a nest nearby. Keep your eyes open. Well, it appears we won't be going this way. I'll admit I hadn't counted on that.
What, Torgo?
What is it, boy? At least one of us knows these woods. Thank you, Torgal.
That's it. Get him.
Well, so far Clive doesn't have much of a character. That's not a dig, it's just he hasn't done much yet. He's a bit of a noble, a bit single-minded. Ironically, a bit sheltered despite having been a slave for 13 years. He's definitely been an outsider, so that we can explain stuff to him. He's very subdued. Not what I've got for Clive so far.
Over here. Stay down. Get him.
We did what had to be done.
Doesn't mean I have to like it.
No. No, it doesn't.
He's a little broody, but that makes sense. I mean, come on. You're allowed to brood a little bit. You get one brood. One brood per horribly traumatic event. What's the name of the main character in Godfather Part 1? I can't think of his name for some reason.
Sword sharp.
You'd better hope so.
This shouldn't take too long.
So much for your shortcut.
What? Still short, just not quite as quick. But it'll be a damn sight quicker if you help me.
I thought exactly. Over here.
As Zidane backloads his brooding. It's the enemies from Guild Wars 2, I just realized that.
Sick of Torgal. Get him. Get him, boy. Sick of Torgal. There, boy.
Oh, I made Guild Wars 2. Anybody's played Guild Wars 2, they know what I'm talking about.
There, boy! Sick!
Even in the jungle.
Not this time. You know what to do, boy. Sick of trouble. There, boy. Sick of trouble. Get him. Over here. Get him.
He's hungry. I actually got the impression he was actually after Torgal, not us.
Where he stops, no one knows.
He just happened to be there because, you know, we're with Torgal. Exactly, look.
Not if we kill him first. Sick of Torgal. Get him, boy. Sick of Torgal. You know what to do, boy.
Yeah, can we, like, butcher this thing and bring its meat back to the camp? I'm sure behemoth steaks taste pretty good, right? Oh, I hated it, love. If we ever do get to do a Guild Wars 2 stream, I'm gonna ding the hell out of that place for overload. Keep in mind, you didn't even have flying mounts back then. Just the damn glider. Magic meat fist, obviously, duh.
Get him, boy.
So far, the combat is pretty Dragon Age 2-y. Now, for those of you who think that's an insult, I remind you, Dragon Age 2 combat is fun. That's not why it's called Dragon Age 2 Syndrome.
Get him. Give them all you've got, boy. Sick of Torgal. You know what to do.
Fine, we'll get some slaves. Jesus. I personally like 2's combat better, but I think at least part of that is because of
Come on.
The
Stand back.
gambit system. So about that trying to stay under the radar thing with why he's not using lightning.
You're dominant.
I am. Aye. Well, not by choice, mind. Whole bloody realm of strapping young lads. And it was this sorry sack of bones Ramu saw fit to home.
Oh, that makes sense. Anybody who used magic probably has the cough. Right? No, think about it. If magic is either seeping energy out of the land or poisoning the land, whatever negative effect it's having on life, it's got to be having a negative effect on us too, right? On the people who are using it. And that also means the more magic, the more negative effect. So bearers probably only have a little bit of a negative effect, but that also probably drains their will to resist, which makes them more pliant, which is why you can enslave people who have freaking magic. On the other side of things, you have the dominant who use way, way, way more magic and therefore are going to be much more susceptible to it. Yeah, exactly. We're casting from HP. Thanks, Della.
You say you want to help dominants and bearers. But what's in it for you?
What's in it for me? The same as for all of us. What we want and deserve. Save for our knack, dominants and bearers are no different from anyone else. The ability to use magic or summon great beasts should command respect, but instead has left us outcasts. Our kind are used and discarded like tools, yet we are men, so why must we die as less?
I see. So what you're saying is you want to start a war.
You flatter me, lad. But my days as a firebrand are long behind me. No, I only wish to offer our kind a choice. A place where we can die on our own terms.
We'll make Valisthea great again. Sorry. I don't think he's Armstrong. But yeah, exactly, Mad Overlord. Remember the slaves who they were using to refill the water well? Or to trim the verge? Do me a favor. Lower your permanent lifespan so I don't have to use scissors. And yes, I would load. At least by memory. I haven't been through it in a while.
What exactly do you plan on doing when you find this dominant of fire?
What do you think? I'll show him the mercy he showed my brother. And cut out the tongue of any man who tries to talk me out of it.
All right. Forest dark enough as it is.
Hornets. Hornets!
Get him! You know what to do, boy. Get him!
You notice the combat track and the regular track thing? This is Crystal Tower or something.
Get him, boy! Sick him, Toggle! Get him!
Real combat isn't quite at the level of Devil May Cry, but again, we only have 5% of our kids. Don't worry, we'll get our final abilities 3 minutes before the end of the game. It's okay, there's a New Game Plus, I think. I'm not sure the rules and specifics of the New Game Plus.
We follow her upstream and we'll be in Lostwing in no time.
Right. There, boy! Sick of Toggle! Over here. Sick of Toggle! Over here. Get him! Don't let them get away!
Oh wow, dropping. Yeah, I can't say that. The only FFs I haven't played at this point are FF7R2 and Stranger of Paradise. Although there's quite a few I haven't reviewed.
Sick of Toggle! Get him, boy!
It's true of Mad Overlord. I mean, at that point, even if you don't care about the livelihood of your dominant, you probably care about the fact that they continue to be under your control. Fuel, functionally.
Sick of Toggle!
And anytime you use a dominant, you're using up its fuel.
Get him!
I don't think lacking a party is a negative by itself. That's kind of a silly thought, honestly.
Not this time.
Having said that, I thought long and hard about the idea of having a party-based game with this level and style of combat.
Get him, boy!
There's only a few ways you can do that, really.
Get him! You know what to do, boy!
Well, again, we're the good guy faction. Before we were completely wiped out in one night.
You know what to do, boy. Get him, boy! Get him!
So you can have there be just them there and they're using their AI and, well, solve problems. You can gambit it, which is actually probably the best overall decision. You can just not have a party. There's actually an in-between choice, though, and I think we're seeing a little bit of that here. The in-between choice is to go to the God of War 4 route. You have a party, but they're not full party members. They're part of your kit. Like Atreus is in God of War 4 and 5. Mostly 4, but you get the idea. V in Devil May Cry 5, if you're not familiar with it.
Quiet. A Royal Scout.
Someone's far from home.
Let's follow him.
It'll be interesting to see if I consider FF7R2 better than Kingdom Hearts 3. Because that's a lofty throne to topple.
And?
They're just down that way. All of them. Grieger's my witness.
Excellent. We move.
I don't understand. Have I not proven loyal?
It is true my liege values loyalty above all else. But were you not quick to betray your countrymen for the promise of coin?
Nothing to lose your head over.
That woman.
Benedicta Harmon, commander of Waloed's elite intelligences. If we can capture her...
You! Weapons on the ground, Imperials!
Let's get this over with, then.
I like that. No, you're thinking of Annabelle, Loke.
Well, at least they're not giant lizards.
What a lady on the wind!
Oh yeah, how's the stuttering bit now that we've been on Ultra for a bit now?
Sick of Get him, boy! There, boy! Put that away. Get him! Sick of Togo! Free to see him! Get him, boy! Give them all you've got, boy! There, boy! Sick of
Well, from what I saw, Trihexia, she was part of a... Let's call it a sequence of blue buds. Okay. A sequence of blue bloods who was trying to maintain the bloodline of the Phoenix within the. That's why they were intermarried. That's why they were Habsburging it. Thanks, Sid.
Get him, boy! Keep your distance, boy. You know what to do, boy. There, boy. Get him. Sick of Torgal.
So in other words, Yura, no. See, would I rather live in one apocalyptic setting where everyone's enslaved, or another apocalyptic setting where the literal sun is dying?
And now, you die! Sick of Torgal.
I think I'll take FF15. At least I will die quickly. Probably low. I don't really have much of a guess right now, though. I'll be honest. This guy.
You know what to do, boy. Over here. Sick of Torgal. Get him, boy!
How did that? Okay, whatever.
Get him!
True blade roll. Do you like modern conveniences, like air conditioning, clean water?
You know what to do, boy. Get him! Not this time.
Well, first of all, 14 wasn't an option mode. No, he doesn't have a second hand, I'm telling you. He's just Nero. He literally doesn't have the second hand.
They thought we were Imperials.
Well, you do look the part. Though you fight like a true shield of Rosaria. And one blessed by the Phoenix at that.
I'm really not joking. He plays like Nero. For those of you who don't actually know how Nero plays, so Nero fights one-handed. But that's because his other hand is his breaker, which you can put a bunch of different types of breakers on which do different effects based on what you have equipped. But that's the point. If you never use the breaker, he's only ever going to use his one hand, wielding the sword, right?
Speaking of which, I wonder, does the other icon of fire give blessings, do you think?
You don't believe me?
And lo, the Creator did make of the elements 8 icons to serve as keepers of the one law. Not that I've ever set too much store by holy doctrine, but on that point, it's clear. Fire has always had just the one warden, as of all the rest. A new one can't be born until the previous dies, and even that can take years. The thing is, you don't strike me as a liar. Which leaves but one person who might be able to shed some light on the matter. And they're in Lostwing. As are our Waluda friends, I would imagine. We should hurry before it gets dark.
But what if someone discovers the bodies?
Well, and they'll be sorely disappointed.
He literally just looted them. What are you talking about, Luke? Interesting. See the pit there? Yeah, what's really funny is this is probably just stylized, and I'm probably reading too much into it, but this feels like a place that's been absolutely blasted by, well, probably by dominance and icons. Like, look at this place. There are several scars of, I don't even know what else to call it. Yeah, it's ignoring the fact that the map looks barren as hell. Yeah, no, I'll take FF15, thanks. The only reason I ever take FF16 is if I was doing an any percent, death percent run. I will be right back. Apologize for how long that took.
So much for arriving before sunset.
Oh, I didn't realize we were this close. Any idea what that is they built the village around?
The fallen ruin. I've heard some call it an airship. Though its flying days seem to be behind it. It's a shame, that.
You truly think a dominant's waiting for us in that village?
My scout has never given me any reason to doubt him. Which is why I think we should hurry. Come on.
We also arguably haven't really interacted with the overworld yet. The map, that is to say. In fact, we probably just got our very first obelisk fire spire for vast travel. So. It does certainly fit the tone and vibe of the entire work, which is, you know, depressing and bleak. Imagine if you can loot like that in real life. Just
ahead.
But are they friends or foes?
They're foes.
This might take a while. Another step. Over here. Sick 'em.
I just had a random thought. I can just change. Oh, okay. I cannot change gear in combat. That's true. Rax is the majority shareholder of this run by quite a margin, actually. Let's see. What is 4 divided by 3,700? Real question. What is that percentage-wise?
Stay down.
What percentage is 4 of 3,700?
Over here. That's enough. It's over.
So, Rax, you own point.
Why? What is it they want?
You're welcome to ask the next ones we meet. Let me know how it goes.
0.108% of this run. Hello, Evo. Yep, time to retire on the lavish fortune Rax has furnished upon me. Hey, DeQuack. Today is headache day, Evo, so I'm pushing against that. Don't worry, I've got leftover burger for lunch, so that should help. Ugh. Thank you for the sub. The end of time. Remember, instead of just putting it towards dealer's choice, you can now put it towards genres, if you're interested in such a thing. God. Firefox is laggy with this open. I don't understand the question, Traxy. What do you mean? If you're just asking which game on the list has the most money put towards it, you can check that yourself. I think it sorts by that. Funders, hours on list, interest. Damn. I guess not. Yeah, no, it is, Rax. It's just kind of awkward because I use Firefox to keep track of that kind of thing. I would say somewhere around the $3,000 range is probably about it. Did you know I have a website? I also just lost the bot to somebody. Hang on. It's just delay day is what this is. I'm glad we got through the prologue yesterday. That was actually my goal. Because Lord knows this has just been the last few weeks of getting delayed every time I try to sit down and actually get something done. One of those little weird irritants, you know.
No sign of the royalists.
Or anyone else for that matter. It's too bloody quiet. Even for this hour.
What do we do now?
First we look for my scouts. You start here, I'll circle round the back.
How do I let you know if I find him?
Good question. Shout?
Subtle.
We have a dog. Well, wolf. Makeup has changed.
I don't even know what he looks like. The village can't be completely abandoned, can it?
Yeah, dude, I'm sure you picked up on this, but you're here to be the distraction while he scouts. So, here's our fast travel. There's our quests are in this area. And, I suppose that... Oh, we can also set a marker. Let's see how the marker works. Yep, nope, we can see the marker live. It is very FF14. Good map. Not the best, but good. Yeah, it's simple and functional. Is the interface better than 14's? Look, I love FF14 to death, but FF14's interface is one of the worst MMO interfaces out there. Nice. Congrats, Eva. Continue to amaze me.
That sounds like a child. It's all right. I'm not one of them. My friend and I, we're with the Imperial Army, and we've come to help. Do you know where your parents are?
In the church.
Then I'm going to find them and make sure they're safe.
Narrator, they are not safe.
Can you stay hidden here until then? To the church, then.
I mean, the Eidolon fights were already half icon fights anyways. This feels like a logical development of it. I don't think he thought about it too much, Triaxia.
This man's gonna die if we don't get into a healer.
Enough of your barking, dog!
Hi.
About time.
Stand back.
You know, the guard probably has the key on him. Okay.
Who the hell are you?
Clive!
He shouted. Just like he said.
Thought you weren't coming.
You still alive, Gav?
Barely. Been doing what I can for the villagers, but...
I thought you were joking.
It's all right. He's with me. Is this everyone?
No, there were others. A pair of royalists came for the bearers just before you arrived.
Was a dominant among them?
Maybe. It's not like he was holding a sign.
Everyone guess where he's going. Clive, after him.
Also, not to disagree with you, Rax, but I think FF14's greatest enemy is Square. Now, that sounds like a meme and a tongue-in-cheek joke, but no, actually think about it.
Any word from the scouts?
Not yet, my lady, but we have the dominant's companion. It's only a matter of time before we seize our quarry.
Very good. And what of the others?
The bearers have been taken to Caer Novent.
Some may still be worth keeping should the dominant elude us.
All is in hand, my lady. They will not be spoiled. I give you my word. Gentlemen, a toast! Will you join me? My thanks. To Our Lady of the Wind. And the King!
Ugh. The Imperials drink this piss?
Well, it would go some way to explain their breath.
Lady Benedicta! Imperials!
And instead of killing them, you lead the rats straight to us.
Mercy!
I think she might be a villain. I don't know, it's a vibe I'm getting.
Here, boys. An imperial bearer. Good. I was getting bored. Boo.
I mean, I don't think she was summoned to intelligence for her intelligence assets.
What is that thing? If this means what I think it does, then Sid has to explain to me.
There, boy! Sicko, Torgal!
Oh, I caught that, Rex. Like, just straight up. The model's probably a little different.
Get him!
Her attacks are so slow. It's throwing me how slow she is.
Get him! There, boy!
I think I will commit to not giving a negative to the raspberry jam.
Get him!
What do you think? A little spongy, if I'm being honest, Spartan, but only a little.
You've got some fight in you, even for a branded.
Clive!
Look who's here to save the day. Is this how you recruit all of your charges?
Don't recall you complaining, Benedicta.
So, Sidolphus, remind me, why was it that you betrayed your kingdom? I asked you a question, Lord Commander.
Why? Because I'd had enough of you and your king's antics.
Also, this is immediately after she just killed a villager for betraying his people to her because of how much she values loyalty. So we can see that she values loyalty to the point of nonsense, of being unreasonable or irrational.
And yet here you are, stealing my branded. What are you plotting?
As if I'd tell you.
Lady Benedicta, we have secured the dominant.
Always something, isn't there?
And she's gone. Did she say where she was going?
No.
Then we head back to Lostwing. One of the villagers may have heard something.
But we can't just...
Which is why I sent Gav.
Thank you, Sid.
The man has a nose for these things. Trust me.
I mean, I don't know, he did find an airship earlier.
So, it wasn't about bearers at all. They were looking for a dominant.
Yeah, that's right. Thought we were hiding the bastard. Like any of us would keep a monster like that under our roof. Oh, no offence.
When no one talked, they started rounding up everyone with a brand. And then everyone without one and all.
And locked you in the cellar, hoping sooner or later someone would break. You know, things might have been different if you'd accepted my invitation.
It's a speech.
Don't remind us. We were all saying the same thing.
This is our home, innit? Don't mean we won't out when we can, though.
And that, I'll drink to.
Oh, come hear the tale of Lord Dion the Bold, whose tamed worms 1,000 and slain the tenfold. 100 full legions the young dragoon led, and watched as 1,000,000 foes turned tail and fled. His lance levels mountains, it sanders the deep. The skies over storm breaks for
Listen, Clive. Revenge won't bring him back. It won't.
13 years ago, I watched a dominant kill my brother right in front of me. And I did nothing. But now I can. I can kill the son of a bitch
and bring peace to my brother's soul.
Okay, so don't actually answer this, but like, he's Ifrit, right? Like, I'm not completely out of my mind here. Ignoring the fact that it's extremely obvious, there's also the fact that I swear that was in the promo materials.
After that, whatever happens, happens.
Fate. You're content to be its slave, then?
We'll see where they go with that. Although, if he is Ifrit, why did he watch someone kill his brother? From anything other than first-person perspective. Because, whatever.
His radiance would have us believe the imperial host invincible. Yet here we find the Empire's cornerstone teetering on the backs of a handful of cowards and cutthroats. Well, Bahamut may lead 100 full legions.
It is Bahamut.
Could it be that the young prince defends a house of cards ready to topple at the slightest breeze? Tell me something. Why do you not resist? Within you lies the power to slay gods. The phoenix perished in your flames. Yet you do not fight. You do not flee. You refuse your gift.
I'm sorry to interrupt this fascinating evil torture scene, but forgive me for thinking about the complexities here. So check this out, right? We've got one dominant who is effectively part of the royal bloodline and thus the actual regent slash ruler, duke, of their particular dukedom. Okay, that makes a degree of sense. We've got one dominant who is so abused and misused they threaten to murder children in order to keep them under their control because they view dominants as abominations. Okay, that tracks. Immediately after that, we have a dominant who has fled his particular kingdom, thanks to not wanting to have to deal with the machinations thereof. Okay, still with it. And then we have Bahamut, who, obviously this is getting a little speculative, but it sounds like Bahamut is the only thing holding the Empire together, which also makes sense. The polity only really politing because of the fact that they happen to have a nuke in the back corner. Just, I don't know, it's just interesting how many different flavors they have on this crap. Oh, for God's sake, stop telling me to vote. Get out of everything. Oh, yeah, then we've got Titan. I don't have a very clear bead on him, but he appears to be someone who is just flexing on everyone else around him. Whatever his official position might be, he's clearly the one in charge of any room he's in.
Perhaps you're distracted. My offer still stands.
No, Linarith.
Join us and you will be treated with the respect one of our kind deserves.
Just casually slicing her sword into her. And then twisting it.
Lord Margrace, don't!
I'll give you a moment to consider your options.
Yeah, exactly, Casual.
Do be gentle with them.
In fact, if they're doing we have the holy right to rule because we have divine right to rule, having a nuke in the back pocket, Bahamut, could be an excellent tangible indicator of the fact that they have divine right to rule. Thus, you know, House of Cards, as she said.
Clive. Wake up. Gav's back.
Canovant.
One of the Empire's outlying strongholds, though apparently not strong enough to keep out the royalists. The captured bearers are inside. I'm sure of it.
If Benedicta's orders are to stay in the shadows, she won't be traveling with many men. Meaning, she'll be keeping her prisoners together and close by.
Including the Dominant.
So, we find a way into the fortress and conjure a bit of chaos.
What about me?
Excellent question, Gav. You will wait outside the care and guide those I free to safety.
And miss all the fun. Why can't he do that?
Clive doesn't have your nose. He'd stumble off a cliff before he even found the men. Come on, Gav. You're the best man for the job.
Well, when you put it that way. Suppose I better scout ahead for any surprises. Don't you let him down.
I won't. All right. Shall we?
Not so fast. We wait until tomorrow.
But he's right there.
And if we leave now, we'll arrive just as the sun comes up. Maybe join the guards in breaking their fast. Come on, Clive. They only just took the place. They'll be there a while yet. We've got one chance at this. You don't want to waste it, do you?
No.
Listen, once we get revenge, we could go commit suicide and be done with all this, okay?
Now that's settled. There's someone I want you to meet.
At this hour?
He's the owner of the tavern, and our best hope of getting a decent night's kip.
Let's see, so they've got carrot broth, chocobo stew? What? Roast hare, salt loach, smoked kippers, black pudding, ew, stone blue, and of course, panda mane. And yeah, it makes perfect sense that someone who we've already had exposited to us is called Lord Commander. Probably has a brain. Even if we hadn't noticed that already.
You're the kind man who saved Mummy. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine.
Oft gifted to knights' paramours on the day of their beloved's first foray into the wild, travelers' bands are little more than pretty shells, broken glass, and shards of depleted crystals affixed to a leather band. But it's the thought that counts. Interesting, so we can buy crafting mats.
Ah, yes.
That's a good point. Chocobo's got to be super tough. Think about it for a second. Horse meat is tough, and chocobos can jump. I mean, I know horses can also jump, but chocobos can jump. So... let's do a test. Oh, did I already do it? No, I didn't yet. Okay, let's switch over to this. We're going to poke at that for a while, see how it feels. Well, I will admit I've never eaten horse, and hopefully I never will. But, end statement. I have also never eaten ostrich, although I've heard ostriches are actually really delicious. That I'm not sure about. That just sounds weird to me.
Quentin, my good man. It seems we'll be spending the night.
I thought as much. Where do you find that one?
What, him? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. Gwynson here is an old friend, one who is sympathetic to our cause.
Sympathetic. And he knows about your little sanctuary. I would never have guessed so many people were bent on setting us free. When last I checked, the mere thought would earn you a trip to the gallows.
I am well aware of the risks, as I am of the rewards.
And what could be more rewarding than your very own dominant of fire?
A dominant? Here? Now that I would like to see.
Meaning you haven't?
No, but nothing passes unnoticed in Lostwing. Take your brand, for example. People will see that at once. And I need hardly tell you how they will greet the inquiries of a bearer. You are afraid your words will fall on deaf ears, as they have ever since the moment you were marked. Happily, I can provide a solution to your dilemma, as a favor to Sid, that is. Take this. You will find it has the uncanny power to loosen tongues.
It's just money.
May the mothers guide you.
This might be Imperial land, but here in Lostwing, it's his word that's law.
But how?
You don't need to worry about that just yet. Trust me. Everyone in Lostwing knows what that seal means, and what it means if they don't take note. Now we can sit here counting our blessings, or put them to good use and find that dominance. Your choice.
See you around, Laneru. Don't worry, I don't think you'll miss much.
This thing really works.
Also, using magic as a flashlight. Just more of that wonderful mundanity.
I already told you. It was gone before any of us could get a good look under that hood of his.
I just noticed they actually got rid of the holster for our sword completely. It's just hovering there behind our back now.
Ah, Master Quinton took a liking to you, I see. And there I was, thinking you were in bed with Sid. Wonder what Gav will have to say about this. Speaking of whom, if you see him, tell him thanks for looking after us. Now, what can I help you with?
I'm searching for a dominant of fire. Gav seems to think he might have taken refuge here.
We see a lot bearers around these parts. But I do seem to recall one who commanded the flame. Now, whether or not that makes him a dominant, I can't say. But the Waluders certainly took a keen interest in the poor sod.
Did you get a look at him?
Didn't have a chance. One of the other bearers might have done.
Thank you.
Ibalade? I don't think I've heard of anything like that before, Rex. Good morning, Ross.
That a hanged man, I see. Master Quentin must think you're important. It was a good thing you done today, getting rid of those bastards. If you hadn't come when you did, I'd be on my way to Ash by now, along with the others. Poor buggers.
These others, was there a dominant among them? A dominant of fire?
Might have been, yeah. Royalists seem to think there was, anyhow. A thin bloke all swallowed up in his robes like one of Great Grieger's churchmen.
Do you recall anything else about him?
Only that he weren't alone. Was a young maid who went wherever he did, including the church, and wherever the royalists dragged them both off to before you got here.
I see. Thank you. I wonder if Sid's found anything.
I will freely admit, years of interactions in fiction have slowly morphed the British accents into fantasy accents for me. And Final Fantasy itself is absolutely part of that, no question. I mean, FF14, right? Hello, Taquata. And thank you, Ross. I've been putting a lot of effort into it, and I've gotten help on it, too. If anybody else feels like chiming in on what they think of the new format, feel free to check that. It's the most recent blind page, so if you check the one-shot review, you'll see the new formatting.
Tell me that scowl means you've got good news. So, a shady lad with a hood, and his equally shady lass. Not much to go on, but... I've been thinking, if our friend is a dominant, why not just burn the royalists to a crisp? There's a reason he's holding back, and I reckon it has something to do with his partner.
What makes you say that?
One of the villagers I talked to said the two were separated. If the Waluders have her, our dominants like to think twice before starting any fires. Whoever he is, he's shown himself to have a level head. He's careful, cunning, and he doesn't want to be found. This could spell trouble. For us and the royalists both. Still, it'll be a whole lot worse if we set off after them with bleary eyes and empty bellies. There should be a pair of pallets waiting for us back at the inn. Shall we?
I do love sleeping on, like, wood. Also, I agree, someone like Barrett over in FF7, and hell, Cloud for that matter, actually feel better with more Americanized accents. Ideally, he thinks it'd be easier to do. It'd be nice to be able to reach out to actors just and actually build that kind of commonality in accents amongst the characters to essentially borrow the culture, right? Kind of like what they did in FF12, actually.
Now, about those beds.
Beds? I seem to recall your request being to spend the night. And for that, the floor will more than suffice.
Better than a wet rock, I suppose. My thanks, Quentin. Next time you're at the Hideaway, our floor's all yours.
No need for thanks, Sid. This isn't an act of charity.
You don't say.
In exchange for my floor, I shall be requiring your services. The Royalists saw fit to erect a barricade across the road south when they occupied the village, and failed to remove it when they left. I expect it to be gone before you leave.
As you wish.
Yeah, exactly, Cashel. And then you have things like the Vieira. I admittedly can't get quite that picky, but...
That took longer than expected. First time dismantling the barricade? It gets easier, don't worry.
I won't.
If we leave now, we'll arrive at the care when the shadows are at their deepest. Unless you'd rather wait.
No more waiting.
It is time for vengeance.
The road south, then?
Unless...
I know of another shortcut. You should be so lucky.
What I was trying to say is that I love my voice actors very much, but I don't have quite enough to really be able to be picky with accents when it comes to casting people. Very rarely I get to be able to be like, oh yeah, you should do this. Like I did in Our Diablo. But for the most part, I just
If the
affix
royalists
best
were
actor
looking
to
to
best
take
role.
the care, they'd have posted sentries to prevent any unwelcome surprises. At least I would have.
Well, you should know.
Wrong way, friend. The village is behind
Told you.
You know, I sure hope it goes away soon, little one. Ignoring the obvious fact that I have no interest in vengeance and therefore find it completely uninteresting personally, it's also kind of hampering Clive's character growth right now.
There, boy! Get him!
Oh, that's interesting. We can level in mid-combat. Oh, never mind. No, that was the end of the encounter. Ignore me. I'm dumb. Exactly, Rex. Vengeance is something that should be, narratively speaking.
What are the royalists thinking? Why take a stronghold they've no chance of holding?
When they've no intention of holding it. The king is up to something.
The king?
Well, you don't think they're acting on a whim, do you? This is one of His Majesty's cunning stunts, and he sent his best to execute it.
There they are! There, boy! Stay down!
Okay, that was funny. He's stabbing my friend. I should shoot him with magic.
Sick of Torgal! It's over! There, boy! Get him! Stay down! Get him, boy!
I'll tell your lady you tried.
God, Sid. Burn.
Hard nut to crack, even when it isn't crawling with royalists.
I don't care who else is in there.
And yeah, it looks like so far it hasn't changed the overall flow of combat at all.
Sick of Torgal! Get him! It's over!
Lol, entity. Alright, start building the walls. Are we gonna add a door? No! Doors are a structural weakness.
Much as I enjoy battering down the front door, I hazard this endeavour will require a bit more tact.
There's an old sluice that empties under the bridge. It should see us through to the lower levels of the care. Sid. We both know why I'm here. But what is it that you want? Why would you risk your life for a handful of outcasts? If anyone ever learned what you've been doing with their property...
They'd have my head in a box. But this isn't just about dominance and bearers, it's about all of us. What I want is to build a place where it doesn't matter what you are, but who you are. But our world isn't ready for a place like that. So, until it is, I use the power I've been given to show people there is hope.
Is there, though? Like, so far, I'm not sure I agree with that assertion. Also, I hate to comment on this, but these people are blind. No, I don't mean like as in they're blind because they're missing us. I mean, they're holding up flames like just a few feet in front of them while walking back and forth on a bridge that has braziers. That light pollution means they can't see more than like 10 feet in front of their face.
So, tell me about this Benedicta.
The best and worst decision I ever made. Don't underestimate her, Clive. A fight with her icon is not one you're likely to walk away from.
Garuda. Warden of the Wind.
Hey.
Hmm?
Yeah, closed helmets, holding torches, walking around braziers. These guys are blind. Or I suppose I should say blinded. Lavos! Except in 14, Triaxia. Seriously, that has to be on purpose. It's so obvious. There's a red dot next to the moon. The rest of the night sky has no color to the stars at all. There's just one colored star. So I know I kind of meme a little bit about the Lavos thing, but no. That's being done on purpose. Right? Like, that has to be being done on purpose.
Thalan has fallen. The Eastern Territories all but belong to the Orcs.
I'll have my men ready to depart by noon.
Don't bother.
But what of the mines? Without adamantite...
The Blight would have engulfed the mines ere long. Besides, you already have your orders.
Yes, my liege.
The dark swallows more of the realm with each passing day. The land starved of the ether that gives it life. And as the fringes fade, the people flock to the mother crystals, desperate for their blessing. The war we wage for possession of that blessing, it breaks us from within, hastening us to our own destruction.
And so you do what must be done.
I unite the dominants, that we may bring an end to the strife, and found a new order to see us unto tomorrow. The world must be restored, and I will see it so.
You might
Also sounds like a lie.
have already had Sidolphus not betrayed us.
Him again. Lust you still for his embrace?
But... of course not. My liege. I serve you, and you alone.
I remember well the day you first entered these halls. Your pale hand pressed into his, as if it would never let go.
That was a long time ago. Yours is the only hand I need. Now and always.
Soon, my dear. Soon all will know whose hand it is that keeps them from falling into the darkness.
Hold me, my liege. Never let me go.
Yeah, did you notice he was kind of gaslighting her there a little bit?
One of our sentries has failed to report, my lady. Your orders?
Pull the men back inside their care, Geralf.
He is here, then.
Have them lead Sid and his little pet to the chapel. I shall entertain them there. So you've come for me after all.
Yeah, exactly, Dakota. What we have here is someone who is a dependent. For whatever reason.
All clear.
Yeah, apparently I was completely wrong. Sid was apparently ex-Walud, not religious freaks.
That's a nice trick. You'll have to teach me sometime.
Interesting change in music tempo.
We should start with the dungeons. They may be holding the bearers there.
Sound plan. As long as we keep ourselves on this side of the bars.
What do you think of the visuals, Evo?
They're all empty.
And? You're gonna give up?
Sid. This gate.
Yeah, we've recranked it.
What do you think?
That I'm doing most of the lifting.
Yeah, gotta get our gimmick band-aid in there.
Did you hear that?
Unfortunately, yes. Good news, lads.
Your search is over.
I'm sorry, that's just a great bit of pre-battle banter. Good news, lads. Your search is over. We're right here. Yeah, okay. I don't want to sound complaining, and I've been holding off on giving judgment on this for a while.
You know what to do.
I find the game very impressive visually. Let me try to clarify that sentence.
Where to next?
It's obviously extremely high fidelity, right? The quality is definitely on display. But the design is something that I have found very disinteresting for the most part. There's been, I'd say, 2 areas that have actually stuck out at me so far in terms of visual design. This is every Dark Souls dungeon. You know what I mean? Is it well done? Of course it is. Look at it. Look at the doodad usage. Look at the placement of the bricks. Look at the usage of the ropes, holding up parts of the ceiling, and blah, 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 blah. It would be insane of me to try and claim otherwise, but it just looks like noise to me. I barely notice it, unless I actually force myself to stop and look at it. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not judging it like that, obviously, this early, but at the same time, it's just kind of like... And again, that's why I say it has very high fidelity, but I'm just not very impressed with the direction. Now, granted, I do tend to prefer more colorful things in general. Something I've noticed more and more about it myself as I get older.
This door only leads to more royalists. We'd better find another one.
But I've also seen games go for this type of approach and still look very visually interesting. In fact, I can give an example right now. Final Fantasy XII. A game that looks very good, especially on the remaster, and is very distinct. I mean, I've always said there's a reason that they start off with the big grounded section. You remember I can't remember the name of the fortress. The fortress where you have the tutorial, right? What do you go to immediately after the tutorial? The extremely colorful Rabanastre. Where do you go immediately after that? The very visually distinct desert. To the Easter Sands, right? And, I mean, obviously, I could keep going, but you get the idea. Most of FF12 is very, very, very visually distinct, despite being squarely in the middle of the Brown era. And going for the same generally grounded aesthetic. Again, I'm not trying to be too harsh on this. But yeah, exactly. We've had swamps, a desert, a keep, another keep, and a forest. Exactly. It's just it's an interesting approach, and it has to be Nalbina. That was it. It has to be on purpose. So it is probably by design. And hell, I spoke derogatorily towards Dark Souls earlier, but even Dark Souls games tend to have some visual variety to them.
Bloody show off. Well, we found the Imperial garrison, right where the royalists left them.
No, I know what you meant, Crimson King. Thank you. I think you're right, Blade Javal. It's just not working for me personally. Again, I'm trying not to judge it too harshly yet, but so far, the reason I haven't been gushing about the graphics is because, if I could use one other example of this. Red Dead Redemption 2 is, in my opinion, the best fidelity game we've ever had, still, as of this very moment in time.
You know what to do.
One of the very, very, very first things we see in that game is the snow. Do you remember that? The snowy mountainside. And that's where they start the game. Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2 crushes God of War visually. But that's my point, is they picked a spot to really show off the graphics of Red Dead Redemption 2. To be the intro is that mountainside. And it popped! You remember that? We spent, like, God, 10 minutes just gushing about the visuals of that snowy mountainside. And then later on it does get a little bit more this, but you get it. Oh, God of War on the PS2. Definitely better visuals, 100%. I'm going the right way. I am not. That's why we check these things. I agree, Luke. With you not agreeing with me. I mean, again, I'm just more interested in direction. Actually, yeah, FF13 is another good example of this, too. The frickin' crystallized lake, which is the second or third area, depending on how you count it, that you see in the game. And yeah, the edge.
Stay down.
FF7R1 also was brilliant visually. What do we start with? The Mako Reactor 1. Ghost of Tsushima is another great example of this kind of a thing. I mean, we've got the intro, which is pretty dark and pretty grounded and pretty awful, but it's still on the beach with the ocean and the waves. And then one of the first areas we see is that first vast open field with the petals, right? With the flower petals. It's like ice. Fusion Bolt. You just Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm going way too far down the rabbit hole in this. I'm not trying to make too big a deal about it. It's just interesting to think about how different the direction is, because I tend to value that kind of I don't know, visual direction and visual style more than I do visual fidelity. That's just me. Oh yeah, Ghost of Tsushima is a dark game. Holy crap. The open the gates scene. I think it's a nice neutral way to phrase that. That scene has stuck with me for however long it's been since we played that.
Get him, boys!
Do I love Advent Children? Now that's an interesting question. Advent Children is a film I unabashedly enjoy, but not for being a good film. Yeah, it's a fantastic spectacle, and I really enjoy many of the fights in that. I mean, it's a film where someone uses a motorcycle as a weapon. Of course I like it.
Better already.
Never were one for half measures, were you, Benedicta? These poor sods didn't know what hit them.
What was that? Wait, what? That implies he can be leveled. Actually, I have noticed that blade tool. There was a pop-up about it earlier. Ah, that's why it's like that. Okay. Yeah, let me go back to sleep. You know, I'm woke! Okay, so. Thank you, thank you. This is, Hey, we finally found some color.
All this bloody running. After them. Seems they were expecting us.
Sicko, Torgal! Get him, boy! Get him! Sicko, Torgal! Get him! Sicko, Torgal! You know what to do, boy. Sicko, Torgal! You know what to do, boy. Over here.
That's true, Crimson King. I do like that. Also, most of the ruins so far have been of the more Final Fantasy bent instead of ruins. Which I do like.
Get him! You know what to do, boy. Stay down.
Also, big emphasis on circles I've noticed in the architecture of the ruins. All of them. Including the one in the hideout.
Not this time. Give them all you've got, boy. Sick of trouble. Stay down. Get him, boy. It's over.
Sick him, boy, Blateval. Get him, Blateval. Sick him, Blateval.
The only way is through the chapel.
Then Great Grieger must have plans for us. What the hell happened here?
I'm guessing lightning, Rex.
Little late for prayer, isn't it?
Do I seem so desperate as to grovel at the feet of a false god? I was waiting for you.
Not for too long, I hope. All this for a midnight chat. Well, let's chat then. Where are the men and women you took from Lostwing?
You mean where's the dominant? Waleed shall be requiring his services indefinitely. Come back to me, Sidolphus. I need you. Think of all the things we can create together. The world that we can build.
You need me. Your king needs me. I'm all for building a new world, just not his. That bastard's dreams are as twisted as his promises are false. And I want no part of them.
King Barnabas saved you, and this is how you speak of him. Have you no shred of loyalty?
I love this. Yeah, because this is a wonderful contrast to Sid's own recruitment policy. He, of course, it makes sense. He was a tactician, so he's probably used to thinking around there. She does a basic appeal to coming back to us. And then when pushed, she just pushes back. Like, she actually yells an insult at him. Like there's nothing else in her head.
What? To a leader who'd use me? Like he uses you.
You know nothing of me, Sidolphus.
You're right. I don't know who you are anymore. Or what you want. I only know what you used to say. That you were tired of running. That you just wanted to be free. Free of it all.
And yeah, notice he is now once again pulling the recruitment. He's really good at this.
You weren't lying to me then, so what changed? What made you think you had to sacrifice who you were to get what you wanted?
Sacrifice. I use my talents to my advantage, and you would tell me there is shame in that?
If there's no shame, then why do you feel so sorry for yourself?
A rousing speech, Lord Commander. I was a fool to believe you might have changed. The only person I feel sorry for is you! I can't do this anymore.
Very emotionally stable woman.
If you would stand between our leash and his dream, then you leave me no choice. Goodbye, Sidolphus.
Stand back, Clive.
I wonder how much that hurts.
Go move.
Sid's dead.
Why?
Finish them.
Well, now we fight two of these assholes at once.
Well, Sid. At least it's not 3 against 1.
There, boy!
Over here.
You know what to do, boy.
Yeah, who knows what the hell's Twitch is doing right now. I mean, he's 100% pulling his punches, but then again, he probably still wants to recruit her. Wouldn't you? She's a useful asset. And she's, well, I mean, duh, you know? She could be a useful asset for you, and she is currently a useful asset for your enemy. Of course you want to recruit her, right?
Sick of Torgal! Don't let them get away!
That's so true, Blade to Bone. I was honestly thinking purely pragmatically. But But yeah, if we add morality, ethics, and preference into the mix, that's even more reason to try to murder her. But that's on. Oh, Jesus.
You know what to do, boy. Sick of Torgal. She doesn't look happy, Torgal. Come on. Get him, boy.
I cannot believe I actually got the timing on that. I was even going for that.
You know what to do, boy. Yeah, boy.
But it's not like she was going full tilt against him either. I'm sure you noticed that.
You know what to do, boy. Sick of Torgal.
Well, so far he's the best character in the game by a wide margin. I just don't suck. Sid, I did your job for you.
Sid, are you all right? Do I look all right?
That's impressive going up against 12 Pillars of Snow.
Benedicta will be on her way to collect the Dominant, if she hasn't already. You can't afford to let them leave. Remember, she has wings, you don't.
What about you?
Before or after I catch my breath?
Sorry. Come on, Torgal.
A very minor note I'm already noticing, and I'm not sure if this is actually being done on purpose or not. Clive is just a better warrior than everyone else here. Of course he is. He doesn't have magic powers to lean on. You get what I mean? Like, Sid here is cool and all, and he certainly knows how to use those two swords, but he's Ramo. Yeah, exactly. He has magic, but he doesn't have the ability to be like... You get my point. I mean, honestly, the contrast between Joshua earlier made that fundamentally clear. Yeah, he survived 13 years as a slave soldier. Someone who's usually used as fodder. Yeah, no. He knows what he's doing. I'm pretty much in agreement with you, Evo.
Must be here somewhere.
He's not bad, but I just don't have much to say about him yet. I mean, Dr. Sid is an amazing character, but... Exactly, Mad Overlord. All you have is a hammer.
The withdrawal has been signaled.
Some enemies can cure.
Get him, boy. Sick of Stay down. Over here. Get him!
Don't worry, he wasn't using those anyways. Combat is fun. Of course it is. It's Omicron. Or Dragon's Dogma. If you prefer.
I'm running out of tower.
Well, the other thing there. I'll tell you in a second. When I'm not killing people.
Over here. There, boy. Over here.
Architecture is usually formed by cultural and environmental influences. Notice this design of the castle in front of the crystal. That could be in one of two general directions. Either we are emulating our Great Mother Crystal, or we are demonstrating how much like the Mother Crystal we are, and therefore have the right to have this rule and blah blah blah. Because you can't tell me that fortress wasn't a pain to set up with this level of overall technological advancement. But people look at that and see, especially I can't think of the word. They'll see it all in front of the Mother Crystal and think, aha. But yeah, like look at most of this other stuff. It's very French. Or actually, this isn't French, is it? I'm not sure what this is. Most of the other castles have been very whatever this is. Absolutely not something that's stylized. Did you notice Torgal just kind of casually glanced in the direction of where to go without me having to use the button for him?
Sick of Torgal!
That's true, maybe they're trying to build into the Mother Crystal. We know that they harvest crystals from said Mother Crystals, which also makes them a finite resource in another way. Well, yeah, but there's a lot of different kinds of medieval fortresses. I don't know the words. Peekaboo.
Get him, boy!
Well, Gothic would make it very Germanic.
Get him, boy! You know what to do, boy. Sick of Torgal.
I've noticed there's an almost total lack of artillery. Like, we have catapults. Now, I know what you're thinking, catapults are artillery, and you're right, but, like, catapults are low-tier artillery. Early artillery.
She better not have flown away.
Like, that's just grab a thing and then fling it, right? We're not even at the level of the trebuchet. Exactly. Dominance instead of artillery. And magic, while we're on top of that. Just general magic. Yeah, we saw how big Titan was earlier. That's your artillery right there. If you're paying attention, also, most of the catapults we have seen in the only real battle we've seen so far were all aimed at an icon, not the enemy troops.
Give them all you've got for us. Get him, boy!
Well, that's an interesting idea, Nightwing. What if all these places are so old and out of use that the paint has already worn off? And for a setting that's in as much war as this one is, it's entirely possible and reasonable that they actually don't build new castles anymore. They can't. Building a castle is a huge undertaking.
Can't take much more of it.
I mean, even these very walls are very run down and worn down. Look at how much age has ripped away at those bricks. Do you see that? Again, Dark Souls aesthetic. That's why they chose it, almost assuredly. But that could still be a storytelling point. I mean, yeah, chunks of the floor aren't there. Entire bricks have been removed in places. And they keep mentioning how this setting is at a constant state of war over the crystals.
Get him! Get him, boy!
Yeah, no, this civilization's on its way out, frankly. It's part of the bleakness. And I hate to keep referring to Dark Souls, but... yeah, no, this is... I agree, Megas Clemens Papa. This is a setting that overwhelmingly over-relies on their one big resource. Yeah. That's true, Shaludo. Ugh. No, I didn't even. There it is. Wait, you're talking about the Clive question? I answered that question. You lied to me. I've been thinking on it. As much as this game is nice and visually impressive and blah, 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 blah. We're 5-6 hours in. For all intents and purposes, we're still in the intro. And this game looks very visually uninteresting. I think I'm going to codify a negative for that. We may eventually get more positives to offset that, but I'm sorry, this game does not look good in the early part. You know what I mean? For everything I was talking about earlier. And yeah, exactly. First impressions matter. Bingo. That's exactly why I'm going to go ahead and codify that negative. Normally I wouldn't. It would just be an absence of a positive, but this is the intro. Intros matter. I'm also going to ding the game for the lighting. It is way too dark. Thankfully the HUD is nice and distinct, otherwise I'd be completely lost in fighting. What I said, Evo, was that I agree with you that Clive isn't really much of a character yet, and I do hope to see him develop as we go further into it. Boss time.
I confess I expected more from the old man. And less from you. This is the second time you've bested my sisters. Men of your talents are rare indeed. Why cast your lot with such undesirables? If it is the hearth you long for, you will find more than enough warmth under my wings.
I hate to keep pointing out how much of a hammer she is, but this is so brusque. She doesn't even give us any particular reason to switch sides to her. Keeping in mind, she's tried to kill us twice so far. Instead, she's just like, hey, you should join us. I'll have sex with you. I wish our response could be something like, no, I'm not a big fan of the village bicycle. Thanks.
You know exactly what I want. Hand over the dominant, and I'll leave you in peace.
You would dare to make demands of me. Know your place, little lamb. Fool is the shepherd who heeds every bleat of the flock. And I will suffer yours no longer. Must I spell it out for you, Branded? No one is listening. No one at all!
I like how it only takes one refusal for her emotional control to slip.
Little lamb, to the slaughter with you.
I mean, it is a DLC sword, but this time that makes sense.
Sick of Torgal!
Yeah, she's a harpy.
Get him! Sick of Torgal!
That's gonna be round one.
Get him!
Well,
Sick of Torgal!
Where is he? We won't ask again.
Two. Thankfully, I don't take health damage from all this. More evidence that the ruins are ruins. Good boy. I bet there's not even any mortar in those bricks anymore that she just knocked out from a tower.
Torgal!
Cry all you like. There's no one to save you now.
I even went for it. I probably shouldn't be. I was just thinking to myself, I shouldn't be trying to play around with this.
This time. Too slow.
Notice no Torgal, by the way.
Time to join your pet.
telling you, no mortar left.
I'll bury it together!
Stay down.
You know, that's actually an interesting point, played them all.
Don't touch me!
Shit!
Bad luck.
Damn it, Torgal, stop being so awesome. Okay, I liked that attack. From behind. With the chair!
Get him, boy! Sick of Togo!
I'll kill you! I'll kill you both!
You know what to do!
Yeah, imagine Renoa in FF on RFF8, because this is kind of what she's going to play like.
There's a good boy.
You are but a branded! How? How did you do it? How did you even survive? How?
The answer is simple, Benedicta. He was fighting for something he believed in.
Shut up! Why aren't you dead?
We've played your games. Now tell me where he is.
Who? What are you?
Why?
A little breezier than I expected. But, yeah. And yes, I'm pretty sure we just Mega Man.
Clive!
Enough of this. What?
So what do you do when you lose the hammer?
She's gone.
What's happening?
Give her back! Give her back! Give her back!
My lady!
Where is she? Where is Garuda? What have you done to me? What have you done?
Look at me, my lady. We need you here.
What the hell is going on?
Her power, you took it from her. How'd you do that? Fuck me. I hope the bear has found a way out. Clive, this place is ready to collapse, and I'd rather not be here when it does. If your dominant started this fire, and I'm betting he did, he'll be long gone.
Damn it all.
He's fine.
What was that?
I created a diversion as commanded, Your Grace. The villagers escaped in the confusion. As should we.
Yes.
It's okay, it was a stabbing wound. He could cauterize it. And yeah, that's Joshua, right? I mean, duh. I never for a millisecond thought Joshua was dead because he's a phoenix.
Oh, look.
Like, literally no other information necessary there.
And here come the cavalry, itching to butcher the bastards who made them miss their morning gruel.
Exactly, Rex. Like,
if they catch us leaving a burning care, people might jump to conclusions.
Right.
Yeah, no, if that ends up being Joshua, there'll be a, this is my surprised face. The power of wind! So, I actually already knew this mechanic existed because demo. We now have Garuda magic. So instead of the dash, which is what Phoenix gives us, we instead have a yank. We also have the ability to topple people at the 50% range. That's interesting.
Benedicta said you'd taken her power. You know, still.
Hold on. This conversation's fascinating, but I really need to see this screen. I should also probably jot down some thoughts before I forget to. Yep, it's time for the Crystarium. Yeah. Neck. Yeah, DMC with less gross. I'm in favor of that. Same amount of ruins, though. I'm sorry, do you mind repeating it, Loke? Wow. You know what I love most about AI results? When they're wrong. There's actually a straight-up picture of Annabelle if you Google Benedicta. I was making sure I had to spell her name. Not the same character. AI is so terrible. I can't wait till we shut that crap down. Just nuke it. Just nuke it. 2 pluses for the boss. No. But I will give 1 plus for the boss. Easy. As for the narrative... That's what I'm chewing on right now. If I needed to look up how to spell her name. Actually, speaking of which... It is very anime. I don't mind because it's reasonably well executed, but yeah, a lot of the AI scenes, a lot of the, I don't know why I call it AI scenes, a lot of the scenes are very anime. I'm not trying to bash FF16. If I wanted to do that, I have other things I could pick on. What I mean by anime is the storyboarding, very specifically, is rather anime-esque in its approach and style. Walking up to someone, slowly grinding their foot on the ground. The shot where she comes straight at him out of the cloud, and Sid's going to give the punch, and she moves behind him, and he's slowly turning to recognize her, and then she slashes him behind. Anime. That's very anime stylistic. Now that I would agree with, Loke. I don't know what Brave AI is, Meatfist. I was using Google.com. Like I said, I just wanted to see what how her name was spelled. One more thing I wanted to jot down. There it is. Okay. Also going to make sure that that's settled. Oh, yeah, no, that's pretty much the point I'm making, Meatfist. I suppose you could say I'm just showing my evidence. Okay. So I can afford this. It's a lot of stagger damage. This is more damage. This one is jump back and then counter. If the jump evades, the counter potency is increased. So this is going to sound strange, but I'm probably not going to get that because that would rely me on using R2 in order to make that happen. And R2 for me is not an everyday thing. I'm not going to use it for dodging, in other words. Make sense? Instead, I'm more likely to use that for something like that's like a big hit. If I'm reading that correctly. I suppose I could look at the details. Hang on. An enemy attack is dodged while jumping back. Counter is intensified ability. Back. Unless this is a passive and I'm reading this wrong. If this is a passive, then that's a completely different ballgame. Yeah, as I say, it doesn't look like a passive, but there's not a lot of visual iconography to indicate that. The only thing we have is the diamonds, which is the innate ability, the R1. And then everything else is circles. Although I just noticed something. That's actually kind of clever. The number of circles surrounding it that are lit up is probably going to indicate how much something is mastered. I want to play around with this. So we're going to use the right button this time. Grab that. Good, Spartan. I do hope you enjoy it. Red Mage is sort of one of my favorite classes in FF14. Not just in terms of personal preference, but in terms of overall design. 2,000 to upgrade that. Wow. Okay, so now we got to equip that. No, that's what I mean. I have to hold R2 to use X or Y, Rax. Okay, so I want that on X. That's my big hit. We'll put Gouge over there. I mean, completely different in every way, Spartan. Speaking of which, new WoW patch in 3 days now? 4 days? That's going to be a big one. Yeah, let's sit with that for now, but let's go down to that instead.
I think I do. I can feel it. It's inside me, along with the flames.
Well, are you not keen to try it out? What could possibly go wrong?
Don't ever say that.
Where did you two come from? Get him! There, boy!
This is the tornado I just bought. And that's why I bought it. Feels like a 2-minute cooldown, just at a glance.
You know what to do, boy. Sick him, Torgal. You know what to do, boy.
Yeah, I noticed that both of the abilities I just got on Garuda are heavy staggerers.
Get him. There, boy.
I remember enjoying it, Euro, so we'll go with a yes on that. Yeah, that feels like 2 minutes. We're almost at the 90-second marker now. Yeah, exactly, Roxy. Boop. Knock him over. Shut him down.
The bridge is closed. Turn back.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry for interrupting your reverie.
know what to do, boy. Over here. You know what to do. Over here. Sick of trouble. You know what to do. Don't let them get away. Get him. There, boy. Sick of trouble. Thank you, Sid.
Jesus.
Sick of Torgal. Flames to me. Get him.
They usually focus on wind for reasons I don't remember off the top of my head. But they do have holy attacks too, like Dia is a long-standing standard of the White Mage class. Yeah, welcome back to our SimCity thing. This comment sucks! Negative 15 to gameplay. Did wind come into the series?
Oh, it's only me!
Damn it, Gav, are you trying to get yourself killed?
It's not me who's been playing with fire! Don't do things by halves, do you?
Yeah, they weren't using that fort anyways.
This way.
Yeah, Dia...
If it wasn't you or him who freed the bearers, who was it?
Good question. Someone who didn't have their hands full fighting a bloody harpy, I guess. But what matters is they're safe. Something they wouldn't be had it not been for you, Gav.
Just doing me job, like. So, what about his dominant?
Gone. And after we were so close.
Well, I can track him.
Why would you?
Sid told us about your family. Lost me onto imperial steel. Sometimes vengeance is the only thing that keeps you going.
Thank you.
Go safely, brothers.
I reckon he likes you.
Yeah, no kidding, Dream Whisperer. I mean, of course, the harpy is a harpy. Could be worse. There is actually a summon called Harpy in this franchise.
She's gone.
My
Benedicta.
lady, you have to hold on. We're going to get you.
Gone. What am I going to do? Barnabas?
How long to the coastal road?
At this pace, we won't make it by sunset.
He'll know. He'll cast me out like all the others.
And there it is. Certainty. That's what she wants. She didn't get it from Sid. She thinks she gets it from Barnabas. And she had it from Garuda. She's lost all three.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
My lady.
Bye, girl. You're dead.
Carol.
Yeah, you guys are terrible soldiers.
What do we have here?
Fetch a good price, I reckon.
But we'd be doing the slavers a disservice if we didn't praise her work.
Stay away!
Papa doesn't even know how to fight normally.
It's It's all right. They can't hurt you anymore.
Yeah, we've met one person, Spartan. And that's him right there.
Come on. Let's go home.
Is this it, Adolphus? My punishment for not listening to you?
So in answer to my earlier question, when you lose the hammer, you become the hammer.
It deserves to die. It all deserves to die! Die! Die!
I don't know, she's talking some sense.
Sid.
It really is very Highlander, isn't it? How all the dominants can sense each other.
Do you feel it too?
Garuda. By the flames.
Go away, mysterious voice. Nobody likes you.
Too much ether. She can't control it. If Garuda isn't stopped, that vortex will swallow this whole forest, and us along with it.
And I'll stop her.
You'll stop her.
I heard it again. Someone is calling me.
Damn it, lad. That doesn't mean you have to listen.
Thank you, Sid.
I should have gone with Gav.
It's not the trees. It's the only green in the entire game.
Clive, I don't think you understand.
It's the only color that isn't red.
Windy weather you're wandering into. Benedicta's rage knows no bounds. And that's on a good day. I don't want to know what's waiting inside that.
But I do. I have to find out. And I'm not turning back.
It looks-ish like we can have 4 of those equipped at a time.
One for every fragment of our mind.
There, boy! There, boy!
Yeah, you notice I just opened with abilities instead of just relying on white damage racks.
Keep your distance, boy.
Debating if I want to kill the rest of them. They didn't give a lot of experience, but they did give a crafting mat, I noticed.
No holding back.
There, boy! You know what to do, boy.
If I'm being completely honest here, I don't remember. I know it isn't a very useful answer, but it's a truthful one.
There, boy! Sick of Toggle!
They are level 15, I am level 16.
You know what to do, boy. Sick of Toggle!
Sorry, I've been meaning to do this like 3 times and I keep forgetting. Because the game's actually pretty quiet on my end. But just for you. Hopefully that will do. love that stagger. Look at that.
Get him! This time. Get him, boy! There, boy!
Nobody knows yet, Tsar, but it's gonna be Reunion. I mean, come on. They are making a mistake if it is not Reunion. Come on.
Sick him, Torgal!
I even did that on purpose.
Get him!
Ah!
There, boy! Get him, boy!
Stand by my statement, Rax. They're making a mistake.
Get him! There, boy!
Like, it is such the correct answer in so many directions. Remake, rebirth, reunion. Ugh. No, it'll be resident or something dumb like that. Or rejiggering. How about, Revedicate. FF7R1 is a very good game with a few flaws of severe amounts of padding and a terrible ending. But it is quite literally the best demonstration of the characters we've ever had. In terms of both writing, voice acting, and motion capture. Oh, manage that one. It does work.
You know what to do, boy. Sick of Torgal.
It did, Proto Android. So best demonstration of the characters we've ever had. Let's see. Combat is solid. By memory. That is a vague statement because I don't remember specifics. It was over 4 years ago, after all. I wasn't reviewing things the same way back then.
Sick of Torgal. Over here.
I think I've got these on farm. What do y'all think?
Don't let them get away.
So I'd like to make fun, PB Good Fate, but actually, for the longest time, I was actually working on my own little fan story. It was actually a Choose Your Own Adventure story, which was supposed to be a sequel to the Final Fantasy series. I called TFF. The Final Fantasy. Dragon's Airy. How involved is the upcoming boss fight?
He's in there. I know it.
Like, how long? I mean, because it's 5 minutes to my lunch break, is why I'm asking. Also, since we're actually going to a completely separate zone, I think that kind of answers me, doesn't it? Can I seriously not save here? Alright, so this will be our pause time then. So after the lunch break, Garuda. See you in bed.